Hey there, welcome to the A.D.K Rock and Metal Network. I'm Dave Dawes, and joining me today is Andy Edwards from Nomadic Rain and Kirk from Screen Blast Repeat. We are doing video reviews where we all get to pick one or two different videos that we all check out. Today is my turn, so today's video is again, on my last one I talked about how a friend introduced me to a band. This was a band he again introduced me to. This big on the old MTV at the time. This is a band called XCNN. This is a band that came out. This was in the 90s some point. The song's called 1000 Easy. It is not a big metal song. It's, hard rock, alternative rock maybe genre, but I guess I'll tell you more about the reasons why this song is what this made me think about afterwards. After hearing this, what it changed my opinion about songwriting and what you can and can't do in songwriting. But yeah, so let's do some alternative music for the channel. Let's check it out. Short and sweet, XCNN and 1000 Easy. Give Andy a chance to say if he had any thoughts on this one.
Honestly, not a band I've ever heard of. I don't know if you've even heard the name, Kurt. I certainly haven't.
No, I hadn't heard of them.
No, I thought you were going to say, when you said X, I thought you were going to say something completely different, but you didn't. Yeah, I mean, there's some positives in there for me. I like the bass tone. and the use of that on the sort of the verse part of the song. I did think throughout the song, the vocalist looked really creepy, the way he addressed the camera. Wasn't a fan of that. Yes, it was hard rock, alternative metal, alternative rock, but it's very sort of slow in tempo, not what I was expecting at all. Usually it's a bit more upbeat and a bit more sort of lively. You take away the vocals, particularly on the chorus, and to me it's what's the song? Teenage Kicks by the Undertones.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can hear that within that mix. A few shots I thought, is it Matt Dillon on drums? Does he cameo as a musician at times? I don't know. The guy looked a bit like Matt Dillon. And at the 2:30 mark, towards the end of the song, I did like the double track vocals and the sort of big scream at the end, but a bit like Speed of Light. I hope I never have to listen to it again, or the majority of the tracks we covered.
No, fair enough. I did say I didn't think this would be something for you.
No, you did, and I'd be interested to know what the story is behind this, when there's so much hard rock, alternative rock, sleazy rock, Guns N' Roses type stuff out there. Why you picked this sort of virtually unknown band?
I'll come to that. Yeah,
it'd be interesting to hear that. Kirk, what do you reckon?
Yeah, definitely gothic undertones, and I'm just looking at the band. The guitar player was in Sisters of Mercy in the Vision Thing era, that great 1990 album, and he'd been in All About Eve. I think you like All About Eve, Andy, don't you?
One song was one of my
pleasures. So remember, we've covered it on this channel.
Yeah.
So, I'm just looking. So they were signed to Epic Records, which was probably still is a division of Sony Music. And do you know, sometimes you say, did that band get signed because the man is a handsome bastard? There's no doubt he is obviously a good-looking guy, and the camera time it's just transfixed on him. It's as if the person behind the camera is obsessed with him as well. Very charismatic. The vocals punkish, weren't they? I don't think there was. He's not the type of singer that's bothered about delivering a melodious vocal projection. I'm surprised you said it was quite the tempo. Did you say it was quite slow? To me, that was quite upbeat. I thought probably like 100 BPM. It's not like doom metal or anything.
No, it's not doom, but it's not what I was expecting for sort of.
Okay. Yeah.
The
bass carried it, didn't it? I mean, there's not much of a chorus there. It's all about the visual. You just can't help be almost intoxicated by this man. If you wanted to create someone to look like a rock star for a film, he'd get hired straight away. Everything about him, the cheekbones, the spellbinding eyes, just the way he presented himself. But to the detriment of the song, I can't really remember much about it other than the great bass line that was carrying it together. If you like this, modern bands like Unto Others, go and check them out. This probably was more like The Mission than the Sisters of Mercy. Didn't rip off either of them. Closer to indie rock, punk, rather than hard rock, because of that post-punk gothic element. I'd definitely listen to an album from them. I've never heard of them, yet they're on a major label and they've got ex-members of the Sisters of Mercy in them. So thanks for introducing me to something to go and investigate.
The album this came off of is fucking weird. It's off the wall weird. It's a strange. There's not that many. This is the most standardized track on it. The rest of them are a little bit mental.
I mean, even that was unhinged, wasn't it?
This was their standardized rock track. This was their commercial song. Everything else is not commercial at all. It's just a bit off the wall. It's an odd one because it was introduced by the guy that introduced me to Pitch Shifter and Nine Inch Nails and stuff. And he came across this album. He was like, "Dude, check this one out." And we listened to it, and I was just like, "This is apart from it just being," I thought instantly got into the track because it's got a natural 4-chord progression, standardized kind of structure to it. But it was probably one of the times when I was hearing vocals which just sounded unhinged. It felt like there was a vocalist telling a story in his vocal performance, rather than it being hard rock bands I'd heard, Guns N' Roses, which was singing, or Metallica, who was singing in tune and doing a melody, but I didn't believe it. They were just singing lyrics to me. When you hear all these other bands, these are just lyrics they've written them out. Yeah, done it. This felt like this guy was just almost ad-libbing the song and singing the song, and he's like, even that bit when he goes to the camera, come on, like he beckons to the camera to tell you something, and he's like, it actually feels like that. And what I like about the chorus is he sings, I can make you laugh at my joke. I can, yes. It's on every beat. If you've got that click track going, you'll hear him. I can make you step at. I hadn't heard anyone actually ever kind of go down that route where you're singing. They're always trying to go, I can make you laugh. They try to like hold the notes and not be that precise. So I loved that as well. It gave me another chance to go, you don't have to just be beautifully in key or heavily aggressive vocals, because he was doing some really like, hold on, he was doing these weird creepy vocals. I was like, again, hadn't heard many people do that before. So yeah, doing that, watching the video for it as well. I only saw the video much later. I didn't see the video when it came out. I'd heard the song and I got the album before that, and then got to see the video a bit later on, because obviously it wasn't on like YouTube back then in the 90s. It was going to be just if you had MTV2, and we didn't have anything like cable or Sky or anything like that. So it was only if it wasn't on Top of the Pops, I didn't see it.
Yeah, so that's what it was like.
That was the big problem back then. But yeah, it just enabled me. It's almost like all these songs I've talked about are songs that enabled me to experiment differently musically, and said it's okay to try something else. You don't just have to be sounding like this Metallica or sounding like, because probably when I was playing music before this, it would have been, we were doing Metallica covers in the band I was in. We would do Sepultura covers, and our writing would sound like one of those bands, and everything was deemed by or controlled by those influences. And so as you start getting all these other influences coming in, you start experimenting and throwing different concepts in there. So yeah, definitely go check them out. It's definitely a very weird album it's on. But yeah, XCNN and 1000 Easy. If you enjoyed our video today, please do like, share and subscribe. We'll see you in another video sometime very soon. Take care.